Welcome to the Foul Out Podcast. Today we got Willie on the cam, we got DJ on the cam, my brother Arkeem, and myself. And we got a few things on the docket today. We got government shutdown, Stephen A. Smith and his potential presidential campaign, CardiB versus Nicki Minaj, and a few other things. So the first one, hottest topic of the day, the government shut down at 12 a.m. Today, and we have a few people that are kind of experts on the subject, man. Apparently, Democrats are blaming Republicans, Republicans are blaming Democrats. What do y'all think about this shutdown? Is it a show of strength from Democrats, or is it just lack of negotiating?
Well, someone famously once said back in 2013, if the government shuts down, it's a failure on the president, no matter what the circumstances are. It's a failure of the president. So I just think this just shows you how, even though I don't think the government shutting down has anything to do with the president in a lot of cases, this kind of just shows you where we're at. That because like the way the shutdown works, right? They passed a continuing resolution like back in I don't know when, and so basically it's almost like you just keep kicking the issue down the road. So they'll come up with something, right? The next couple of days, maybe they'll come up with an emergency resolution that funds the government till November, and in November we'll have this same conversation again. So it's really disappointing that you have your elected officials who can't seem to. They seem to can talk about everything else and get everything else done, right? But when it comes to managing the federal government, they don't seem to prioritize that until the last possible minute. And then what happens? Just right here, right? We just start finger pointing, saying it's your fault, it's your fault, and so yeah, that's why we are where we are.
Hmm. All right, well,
Okay.
this is. Oh, wait, argue, wait, argue, whatever.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Speak up though.
No, I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
Nah, mine is gonna go last.
Okay,
'cause
I'll
I'm gonna
go.
explain.
I'll go then. Yeah. So, from what I've heard, Democrats are saying that it's Republicans are trying to cut Medicare, or is it Medicaid? And I also heard AOC say that Republicans are trying to make prescription prices like double, based on like some of the things they're trying to cut. But according to Republicans, their stance is we passed the CR, continuing resolution, 6 months ago. And Democrats and the minority Senate, the minority leader, Chuck Schumer, he agreed to the terms that Republicans wanted today. I mean, that they're fighting over now, 6 months ago. So Republicans are kind of feeling like, bro, you agreed to this some time ago. What's the issue now? And people are speculating that the issue is actually because AOC, the congresswoman from New York, is potentially gonna be gunning for Chuck Schumer's job, his Senate seat. So he's trying to show his strength and show that he's actually fighting for the right causes and stuff because he doesn't want to lose his seat. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's the reason for the added power and flair of Chuck Schumer now and trying to like fight back. But I understand both sides of it. I heard just based on a numbers basis, I heard some official Republican. He may have been the majority leader, and he was saying that healthcare budgets got raised during the pandemic because like obviously people were getting sick and yada yada yada. But after the pandemic, the healthcare costs kept ballooning. So they're saying like we just want to bring the budget back down to like pre-pandemic levels. And Democrats are saying, well, that will cut out a lot of stuff. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna do. Was speak like that. But I give my opinion now that you've done that part. So, so you said AOC is trying to get Chuck Schumer's job. Well, it's a power move
Potentially.
then. Potentially. Well, it's a power move then. If I was Chuck Schumer, I'd shut this whole thing down too if y'all tried to. y'all try to go get my job. You know, you gonna try to go get my job.
Ain't
It
nobody
ain't gonna be no government.
It ain't gonna be no government. If I don't get paid, ain't nobody getting paid. And that go for all the central. So, you know, they said that they stopping to pay on 750,000 workers. That's why I called DJ this morning and said, "Hey, bro, you off today, ain't it?" But essential workers.
What you talking about?
I thought you was off. I said they shut down 750,000 people. But what I did see is that I looked deeper into it and said military, law enforcement, and air traffic control people are considered essential, and they said they must be paid immediately. So
They can't get agreement. That's the sad thing. Like the Republicans shot down the Democrats. So they're trying to find a happy medium. Like you give us this, we give you that. I think the last thing was that the Democrats sent a bill up, but it would have included some health care provisions, and the Republicans shot it down. I think it was 53 to 46, something like that. But these people are just playing. It's just playing politics at this point. But it does need to be a bill representative of both parties. I don't think you can make a bill that's just, one-sided to the extent. But, the positive side of this is that our president has took it upon himself to look at this as an opportunity to maybe get rid of some positions. Because, a lot of people are going to go home and maybe they don't need to come back.
Yeah, I saw that. They said something about permanent layoffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, so the federal government is huge, right? Like,
what's the mechanism he can use to do that, though?
You can, okay, so he already kind of put that out there when he challenged the mass firings, right? And Congress basically came back and said, not Congress, sorry, the Supreme Court basically said, he can do it. I mean, until somebody challenges it to the point it needs to go to the Supreme Court, he can kind of do it. And so now it just goes back into the whole thing, right? Okay, who's important and who's not, and what can I cut to save money, right? I don't, and not to segue off, but did y'all see talking about saving money where they had the all the generals in the U.S. government meet at Quantico, Virginia, to have a big talk, right? It was a big talk. They built it up so big last week. That's when it was announced. They were all flying in. And then this week we got the talk. And it was just that y'all need to get in shape. That the military needs to look a certain way, which I felt was insane. Because you're flying generals from all over the world.
So when you say in shape, you mean physically in shape? Or
yes, he's basically said everybody should be able to pass a PT test, no matter what your rank is. And then he also said that you need to look the part, meaning no more beards, none of this no more. Black men and other men who had curly hair, we used to get shaving profiles that said, hey, we are allowed to carry a beard because of folliculitis and stuff like that, right? We shave too close, bump up and all that. Well, they're getting rid of all that. And so it's, yeah, getting rid of long hair, all of that stuff. So, I mean, but just imagine that. Imagine how much money it took.
See, that's the PC, Willie.
I'm just saying. I mean, I just think it's funny, that we having all this financial stuff. That the main thing, right, was saving money, and that Doge was in here. It begs the question now: what was the point of Doge?
Does Doge even still exist?
No, not really.
I have the Pete Hegseth speech pulled up here. Let's listen in for a second.
Let's listen in. I'm excited.
Dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. But when it comes to any job,
run that back. It got cut off at the first
perform in
part.
combat, those physical ticks. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses.
That's what I thought he
No
said.
more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force.
So who is he again? Who is that?
He's our boss. He's
Secretary of
me, and
War.
he is. How about this? If you work for DOD, well, DOW now, Department of War, he is the boss.
Tough.
He is
Yeah,
the boss.
he's the Secretary of Defense.
So now he's gonna make y'all shave y'all heads. DJ, get ready. You
No.
saw the men in there. Everybody in there had a bald head.
Only if you're in the military. Only if you're in the military.
Everybody in there had a bald head. I said, boy, I wanted to say something. Boy, look at that room.
But like, did y'all hear what he was saying though? He was talking about men in dresses and DEI, and basically said, oh, if women can do it, they can, or women can't, they can't. Just interesting. I just found it very interesting. But that's what this meeting was for.
Well,
I want to get on a soapbox for a second.
Uh-oh.
My thing is, I hate how we as Black people get looped in to all of these other communities and scenarios and stuff. It's like, if you watch a movie, if you watch a DEI targeted movie, it's gonna have a bunch of other communities almost crowding us out in our own story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Black people, if we are a thing, we should be able to have our own movies without other ideologies crowding us out. It should just be ours. And if other ideologies want to have their own movies, they should be able to have those. If you want to have joint ideologies and black people, brown people, then you could do that too. But every time we have a Black movie, it should not be a joint effort to try to just grab everybody who's not a white male to watch it. And I feel like that's how it was in that speech. He was basically calling out a bunch of people, and we got looped in with it. DEI, we're the poster child for DEI, but DEI doesn't even represent us. So that's just my little soapbox moment.
Oh yeah, I agree with your soapbox. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why I said it didn't make no sense. Like, you think you calling generals? You know how they say, "Hey, that could have been an email." Like, brother, that's what you called us all over the world for. Was for you to say, if I can do push-ups. He said, if I can do push-ups, y'all can do push-ups. If we're not gonna have an army where people have beard. He even more so. You showed a snippet of it. I remember watching some of it. He was talking about beardos, got beards, and this and that, and I'm just sitting here like, but hey, if you've been around for the last
It'll all
9,
change
10
in
months,
4 years.
yeah, I mean, you know what's up. You know what's going on here, and I mean, let's be real, right? Our Secretary of Defense of War, he ain't never been in the Army. He's National Guard.
Makes sense.
Well,
So
it's funny
all right,
hearing
so-
the guy. It's funny you got a room full of bald heads. These generals, and the guy with the biggest opinion got a head full of hair. And it's like I said, National Guard. He got a head full of hair.
and then the other question that came up was, if the president is supposed to be the commander in chief, does he fall under these guidelines of being in shape?
Low hanging fruit.
But
well, they not gonna make him do that. He 80 years old, like
But some of them generals, but some of you say that, but some of those generals are in their 60s.
Yeah, but he like almost 80.
Yeah.
Can we take a beat, man? What he said about physical fitness, I don't know if he was wrong about that.
I mean, I don't think he. What is this physical fitness like? I know he don't mean bench press 225. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
it's to do the PT test, right? And so basically,
Is that like running a mile in a certain amount of time or something?
yeah. Like so what he's trying to say is he wants you to have the prototypical like movie style soldier. No facial hair, slim, strong. You got to be able to do the PT test. You got to be able to run a mile in 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Well, our army is volunteer based, meaning if you're good enough to get through basic training, typically, and the PT test hasn't been strictly enforced for your job. That's the thing. Let's say Anthony runs a 8 minute and 5 mile, and the deadline's at 8. Ain't nobody gonna fire you over that. But now what he's saying is basically these guidelines that were kind of, now it's hard. Now it's like, no, you got to run an 8 or you fired. That's ridiculous, because when you think about the times, right, that's ridiculous in my opinion for certain people. Because dude, some people ain't gonna get the 220. This just ain't gonna be what it is. There are dudes in the army who are jack swole, huge, that are more than competent to do what's asked of them. And a PT test doesn't necessarily represent that. But
Yeah, I agree. So to me it's kind of nuanced. So on one hand, if you are giving physical tests, like if you're doing physical training or out on the field where physical training is being done, you probably do need to look the part. But if you're primarily just using your mind to strategize and plan and stuff like that, then you probably it doesn't matter like your physical fitness as long as your mind is still sharp. That's why a 70-year-old can be an NFL coach, even though he can't go out there and tackle the guys. He can still come up with a good game plan strategy. Like okay, for me, for example, when I ran track, my track coach wasn't in the best shape, but I never looked at him like if he told us, okay, go run 800. I never looked at him like, well, you can't even do it. I just ran the 800 because he was a good coach, you know. So that's the nuance I think that's aligned with that.
that's the thing. That's the nuance. And then like he's saying that because he just, like you said, I don't know. But but think about this, dude. They had all of the generals in the U.S. Army at Quantico. So think about the amount of time to get everybody to get there from all over, domestic and international, to
You know
fly
how much
in.
money that costs?
Exactly. And you do that with us arguing about money for a government shutdown, but yet we flying it. That's why this whole thing is ludicrous a little bit.
And what
But
do you think they're staying in the days in when they coming?
no, no.
You think any
Think they ride? You
operations
think they
went
riding
to
around
hell
and
because they was absent?
Any operations went to hell?
Because
Probably
they was
not.
absent.
nah?
But I tell you what, though, imagine flying from like, let's say you in Africa, and you fly up there for an hour meeting, and that's it. It's like, all right, dismissed.
Hey, and then if you came from Africa, what if you was 20 minutes late? Hey man, I'll whoop somebody.
Yeah.
Oh no, you better not be on late
I
to
mean, he
that
didn't,
meeting.
because you guys remember when he announced it, he didn't say what it was. They said it was a surprise meeting called by the Secretary of War for all U.S. generals to fly. So we're thinking something
So,
crazy going to happen.
side note, has it
He said, "Y'all
officially been
boys ain't
changed to the
safe. I need some
Department
more
of War?
sit-ups getting done
Yes, the
around
No, it
here."
Department.
hasn't.
It
Not
hasn't been
not
changed.
officially.
Not officially.
Not officially, but that is.
That's on the docket.
Yeah.
They
I don't
reference
know.
they reference a lot of the emails now with Department of War when you get one from.
Yeah, but I think I heard someone say Congress has to officially do it, but I
Yeah,
think it is like being referenced that way.
yeah,
This man.
But yeah, let's move to a more of
yeah.
a quick hit topic in light of this in light of this political discussions. Stephen A. Smith is potentially going to run for president in 2028. When they first asked him about it, he said, "I love my job at ESPN. I wouldn't do that." But the rally behind him started getting so strong, he got to a point, and I quote, he said, "I mean, at this point, I have to seriously consider it." He said he spoke to some billionaires, people with a lot of money, who said that they would support him, so he has to seriously consider it. So, how do you guys think he would fare in a presidential bid?
I think he do pretty good, and here's why. What we got going on, the possibilities are endless. So I remember, I think the Rock was supposed to run too for president. And he might be up for it in 2020. I'm telling you, dude, 2028, it's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised to see Arkeem up there. So look, this is real. 2028 is an open ball game, son. It is an open ball game.
Like, it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
Me neither, dude. It's gonna be wild.
Everybody applying for it at this point.
Like for instance, and I hate bringing him up, but could you imagine like a lot of these people who got the positions they got now? Like honestly, like did you just like, oh dang, like for instance, imagine I'm not going to use buddy, but I'm going to use Mumandi. This dude was a councilman a year ago, like a councilman that's like basically Kenny Stokes, but New York ain't Jackson, and that was his first year on the board, and then now he's possibly going to be running for mayor. He's possibly going to be the mayor of like one of the most influential cities in the world. Like that's where we're at now, where you can go from, hey, this is local representative, to, oh, now he's state senator. Oh, now he's U.S. senator. You don't have to do the loops that you used to have to do.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about that? Do you like that or not?
No, because okay, hear me out. It's a give and take, right? Like in some cases, it's like, wow, that's somebody who really needs to be here because they have great leadership. But then there's people there like Tommy Tuberville who moved to the state of Alabama, honestly might not have lived there long enough to even run to be their state senator, U.S. senator, and then did not know the three branches of the government. And then somebody would say, oh, that's no big deal. But that just shows you what you're dealing with. Like,
but I think that's everywhere because, side note, I'm reading this book by Damaris Smith. He was the head of the NFL.
NFLPA. Yeah,
he was the head of it for like 14, 15 years. He said that some of the owners, he got to explain to them the game of football. He said a lot of them don't even understand the salary cap. He said one guy, he don't say their names. The only names he really says is like Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones. He said, matter of fact, he said they don't like each other either. But anyway, he said that one of them didn't even know what a cap hit was. And he been owning the team since, his daddy was a little boy. Since he was a little boy, his daddy owned the team and passed it to him. He said he didn't even know what a cap hit was. So I think that a lot of people have to be briefed about a lot of stuff that go on.
True. The only fight I'll put up with you on that is that's them arguing about their money and they spending. But could you imagine you elected a dude who's supposed to represent you who don't even know the three branches of government? And and see, this is the real flip side of it. Imagine the three branches of government, and you done elected somebody who don't even know it, and now you sitting there like this.
They hired a guy that got his claim to fame on being the head coach of the office.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna hit you with a Ted Cruz. He said, "Hey, look, they ain't hired me because I'm good at trivia. They elected me because I was the best one on the show." Hey, you remember they was on Ted Cruz, bro? They was on Ted Cruz. Say, do you even know how many people live in was it Afghanistan or something? Do you even know how many people live in Iran? He said, I don't know, 10 million. He said, no, it's actually 120. He said, well, they didn't elect me because I'm good at trivia. They elected me because
Well, see, that's actually where I want to take the conversation is they didn't elect him because he was the best man for the job. What does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know that a person is going to be a good senator? You don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what really gets a person elected?
No, Ted was like, they reelected me. I've been here.
You're right. And so, Anthony, I agree with you. But it's almost like this with me, right? It's like, we're gonna hire. We're going for Apple jobs, right? And it's me versus Tim Cook, and they say, man, Willie don't know nothing about Apple, but boy, do I like to have him in a room. He a great, funny guy, dude. The Tommy Tuberville is like that for me. His whole entire, and this is what the issue. This is what I was talking about when I say 2028 can be crazy. His whole running stance was Democrats are evil. Let's go for Trump. And I know that does not mean he's not going to be a good leader, but there are signs that maybe he don't need to be there. If that's your entire stance, think about that. He was so focused on that. He didn't even know the three branches of government. I guarantee you this right here, dude. He might not even know what the state capital of Alabama is. He was only in there 6 months before he ran. You ask him what the state capital of Alabama, he might say Birmingham.
Dude, he don't even know what street he stay on. He just
That's
got
what I'm
there.
saying.
But can you blame him? Hey, look, hey Willie, hey Willie. A win is a win.
You just can't look like this. It's a win is a win. You just can't say that stuff in public like he did. I didn't think you could. Like when I asked one of the girls in my lab one time who was governor, this is 2018, and she said Haley Barber. And I said, oh.
Well,
how old was she?
The reason for you to say
23?
So,
she was older than me.
When you say that really makes me think Stephen A. really has a chance.
Yeah.
For that very reason. Because even though he doesn't have the traditional political background, in a debate, I think he'll rip everybody up.
I think he would do great.
I don't know if anybody could talk with him. You know what I'm saying? In a debate, you put him in front of a podium, like, and he just have like common sense policy. Dude, he could take off.
Wait, pause. What's the guy named Victor Ramaswamy? Y'all know who that is?
Victor Ramaswamy.
The Indian dude who was running for Republican president.
Vivek
Ramaswamy. Yeah, him. Remember when they had that? Trump wasn't allowed to be at this debate, and everybody thought Ron DeSantis was the man. And Ramaswamy kind of won the debate. He beat everybody. He was the best talker. He was the person who had the most energy and had the crowd going wild. Now, but at the end of the day, when they played on CNN and they put it on Van Jones, they're like, Ramaswamy, he may be number one Republican pick. And then it clicked over to him, and then he was like this. Van Jones was like,
no,
because he already knew.
He knew what
said,
time
hey,
it was.
bro, that dude right there, he basically said, man, the Republicans ain't voting for no Indian, bro. That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah.
So when they flicked it to him, he was like,
I mean, the same thing happened, right, for vice president.
It don't matter how good you talk. It don't matter how good you did, bro. You don't fit the profile of what they think a leader is. So Stephen A. Smith, I think it's the same thing for him. He probably can mash everybody in a debate. But at the end of the day, he better not run for Republican. Like it don't matter how good you are. You got the best plan in the world. That's not what politics is based on. It's not who's the best for the job. It's who has the best profile for the job.
Yeah, who has the profile? And I think look, I think Stephen A. can run. I do think for 2028, since we're talking about it, I think for the Democratic Party, the front runner is Newsom. I just think so. That I think right now there's no one else who's out there. I mean, I would like Wes Moore, right? But I don't think he I think he like where he at. I think he like
Wes Moore looked like a bot. He looked like an NPC. He ain't gonna win.
Yeah,
he need to build his profile more.
He got to build his profile up. He could be a vice president. I ain't gonna lie. A more Newsom. I mean, Newsom more ticket sounds. But see, Newsom gonna play the game where I need to get a state, kind of like how Kamala did. I need to get a state that's borderline. So he might look for Pennsylvania, Kentucky, or somebody like that. But it's interesting for sure.
I think Stephen A. could beat Newsom if Newsom came in on some super far left ideology stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, but Stephen A. he just launched a political show called Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith. It's like politics 100%. And he has like he's a fiscally conservative and socially liberal. Like that's what majority of the country is. So like if he came in with, good policy, common sense policy that was centric, you know what I'm saying? I
He
think
could.
I think, if he was centric and then Newsom was coming in saying your people can identify as horses, you know what I'm saying? He'll have a tough shot.
And you know what? He might be on the ticket. I honestly, a Newsom Smith, if he was to come in, he could be a good vice president. I mean, him coming in and being president without just saying something crazy seems outlandish. But I do think he could definitely put his foot in there somewhere and just fill it out because 2028 is going to be wide open. And so I really can't. I really think that him and Newsom on a ticket doesn't sound crazy at all to me. I mean, who would have thought that Trump would put Vance on a ticket after all the
He
pandering
would
everybody else was doing?
Stephen A wouldn't go for the number 2 spot. He wouldn't be useful as an like you put somebody as your vice to like add to your pedigree. Stephen A, he wouldn't add to anybody's pedigree. He would have to be the number 1 guy, and like his words and his flair and his bravado, that's what would make him a
So
star candidate.
is he just
But
president of the bus?
yeah, basically. I think if he if he got in there, he got a silver lining. It's kind of like Trump. Like everybody thought Jeb Bush was gonna be the Republican nominee, but when Trump just got in there and just started saying crazy stuff like, "Yeah, Trump just wants to," he said he just wants to get tax breaks for his rich friends, and he said, "Well, you've been in office for 30 years. Why didn't you change it?" If you that was Trump's moment. But I
Yeah.
do want to ask you, DJ, why did you like kind of scoff at Stephen A running for president? Like
Yeah,
what do you think he could why don't you think he could do it?
man, I'm not gonna say the man can't do it. I'm not gonna just throw him under the bus or anything, but it's just funny hearing this because like the same it was just like, I had the same facial reaction when they said Donald Trump was gonna run for president the first time. I'm like, I said Trump not gonna run for president. Now here we are with the second term. I mean, anything's possible.
Okay.
Now that's my question for
Gotcha.
you. Stephen A. got your vote? If he
Depending
I
on
would
who
need
running
I
against
would
if he
him.
need to hear
runs
his
now.
I would need to hear his policy. Now, if he came with
Hmm.
good, fair, common sense, logical policy, I could be down for him.
All right,
You know what
let's
I'm
cut
saying?
to the meat and potatoes. You said, Lil A, just said no and shook your head no that people don't vote based on a candidate's profile.
Mhm.
Why did you do that? You think that's not
Because I
true? You
felt
think they vote for who best on for the job, or they don't vote for
no,
profile?
no. I said at the very beginning, I don't think they vote for who best for the job. But I think when you said profile, you made me think about um, like history. You made me think about their resume and stuff. Resume is not what wins.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Their profile, like what you look like, or what they think of what I said of what they think the profile of a leader should be. Now, a
Okay,
lot of people
okay. Well,
think,
that I agree with.
oh, okay. Well, there we go then.
Yeah,
But
when you said profile, I thought you meant history, like resume profile, like that. But
no,
I don't want to stay on this topic forever. That was a quick hit. Um, let's move on to let's move on to Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj.
oh,
Something on the lighter end. We didn't
yeah,
talk about politics. Let's move to something lighter.
this should
Cardi
be the
B,
quick hit. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Cardi B versus Nicki. Who do y'all think is the better rapper? Who do y'all think makes the best music? And what do y'all think about their recent feud? Arcane, you probably know the most about it.
Well, I be doing this stuff all day. All right. So let me say this: Nicki, the better artist. Nicki is the better rapper. Nicki is the better catalog. You know, Cardi B. Yeah. Cardi B is a good artist too, but she, she's second class to Nicki for sure. And they both going at each other and talking about each other's kids on all TVG sites. I made a call to get everything pulled down on them talking about each other's kids and stuff like that because what you looking like that for? because that's not cool, and potentially it could get flagged. So I had to get all that stuff pulled off of all my sites with them talking about each other. But yeah, I think Nicki. I don't know. I think that Nicki's career may be coming into that legendary status where people just not so riled up behind her anymore, and she see like younger artists like Lotto and stuff like that, and it probably make her feel a kind of way. I don't know, and it make her go at them because Nicki pretty much go at every female artist. Meg, she just pretty much just diss them some kind of way.
She has been getting active on them for sure.
Yeah, look, she going at Jay-Z too.
Yeah, I see that. She just going on a rant. Man, look, man. I don't know what these females beefing over. I don't know what it is, but I think at the end of the day, I agree with everything you say. It don't need to be a discussion on music. Cause Cardi just dropped her second album, and it was like 5 years between albums or something like that.
More like 10. Bro, she dropped that mug when we was in college.
Exactly. So the music debate's kind of cooked. Now it's just two girls is beefing on the internet, and that's all it really is to me. It's just strictly entertainment. Strictly, that's just what it is. Strictly entertainment. Anything more than that is ludicrous. Anything less than that is ludicrous. It's just strictly entertainment, and they entertain it. And we now who team I'm on?
Who team you on, Trill?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was team Nicki. But then I heard that CardiB interview when she was saying all the stuff that she do. I think I'm gonna reassess and I'll come back later after I got all the evidence and then I'll decide who I want to be with. But Cardi,
who better, Nicki or Cardi?
Nicki. Like it used to be a competition. Like as time went by, it was like I see it.
Yeah, right now I don't know, but if they peak, Anaconda Nicki is like top tier, bro. So
I'm saying like if you look at them now, Nicki got Cardi, but like probably like in 2019 and stuff, it was like Cardi was up there. You know what I'm saying? But if you see, I don't know, just over time, it's just kind of like, I think Nicki kind of like took her.
I don't really think Cardi was ever just the baddest out though. I think like her persona was more badder than just like her. You know what I'm saying?
At one point, she was smoking though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she definitely smoking from that.
But okay, for me, I'm gonna say better rapper Nicki, better artist / music maker. Lately, I probably give it to Cardi. And yeah, who looked better? Nicki. But I will say that it feels like in 2025 the public is more so on Cardi's side. So if I had to pick who do I think the public would ride with, like if they had a all out beef with tracks, I think they'd ride with Cardi.
Well, Cardi maintains her relevance in the spotlight anyway, from her personal life to music. So Nicki's kind of been off to the shadows lately. Like she's kind of just here. Like haven't seen like far what's the last musical release she's had? Like what's the last thing you've heard her on?
I'm not sure. I don't really want to stay too long on this topic. Who you got? Better artist, better rapper?
Oh yeah, better artist, better rapper. Nicki for sure. Only thing Cardi got on her is the Grammy win, and that's literally it. So
okay, all right.
Obviously, somebody up top don't like Nicki. She ain't got no Grammy. But go ahead.
Yeah, but okay. Let's see. We could. All right. How about we just do a quick review on
Young Thug? Yeah.
Yeah, Young Thug, new album, You Are Scuddy.
Young Thug, Thugger, man. Please tell me this fell out your pocket, man. Tell me this fell out your pocket, man.
And we're gonna start from album title name. We're gonna start. That's a 0 out of 10. What is that? Somebody explain that to me. Please, somebody explain the name of this album to me. I'm lost.
I'm lost on this whole album, bro. I didn't even listen to the album. I just saw the album
Me
cover.
neither.
And
Me
I
neither,
knew
bro.
exactly where I needed to be at on that side. So, yeah.
I listened to the tape. I'm about to, let's see here. All right, so let me count the good tracks. Y'all keep talking.
Gosh.
Hey, man, go see one battle after another since we're talking about the entertainment industry. It's a great movie. And the main lead, Leo, he's great. But the girl in there, Chase Infinity, got my heart.
Chase Infinity, who is that? She black?
Yeah, that's the girl in it. That's his daughter in it.
Like that's her real name, or is that
That's her real
stage
name
name?
is Chase Infinity.
That's
Man, that ain't her. Her mom and dad, her last name Infinity.
Brother, her real name is Chase Infinity. She's named after the Batman character,
Is it
Chase
Infinity
Meridian.
with a Y? Is
Yeah,
it
I
Infinity
give
with
it.
a Y?
I'll give it like a 30% take.
30%.
About 30%. But yeah, speaking of that one battle.
Nah,
Okay, her
it's
name
not.
is Chase Infinity Payne. Okay, so it's basically Chase Payne. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, because ain't no way your last name Infinity.
She go by Chase Infinity. Though. I get it. That sounds way harder than Chase
that
Payne.
makes sense.
But it's my
Hey, if
movie of the
somebody
year.
last name Infinity, they
I
might
don't know what
really be a
Anthony was about to
superhero.
say, but
That's your
one battle
movie
after
of the
another
year?
is my movie of the year. Dude, I gotta see it again. But when I first saw it, I was like, dude, I had no inkling. I was like, straight up. I think I might watch one preview, didn't have a clue. Went in, saw it, and I was like, which you've seen it Anthony twice,
Leo
right?
Oscar now.
So you know what I mean when I say it was a moment. I was like, yo, is this amazing? Is this kind of great? Because
So
the
you
story
talking-
is just
So you
for that
talking
to be
Leo
an
Oscar
original
now?
story.
Leo Oscar now.
No, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh no.
The movie is so good, and it has nothing to do with like Leo's part of it. Why it's good, but it's not really one person you can point at. It's just a really well put together movie.
So the whole
It doesn't
movie
even
Oscar
feel
now.
like his movie. It doesn't even feel like it's his movie.
Yeah, it don't feel like his movie at all.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
So you don't see a nomination. So you see Oscar nominations. Period.
The
For
PTA
the
will.
movie, maybe.
Oh, PTA
Yeah,
will.
he might get Best Picture and Best Director because he made that movie. Like that was a movie that he wrote himself. That was an original movie.
Oh,
Really?
But, yeah. PTA is that guy, bro. PTA
You done made this twice more. I might have to go check that out.
But no, I got to see it again because when I look back at it, Anthony, it was so good. I was like, bro, what is this genre? Because I thought it was an action. It's actually a comedy, and it made sense. I was like, yeah, okay,
Bro,
I get
it's
it.
like, all right, it's like this. I don't want to ruin it for y'all, but at the very beginning of the movie, you feel like you know what you're watching. Like, it's this rebel group, they blowing stuff up, whatever. But it's a moment that it just changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the part, like I know it's the specific part when Leo ran out of that. I don't want to say this what it's called, but he ran out of that building and then ran into the sensei, and they was playing that Michael Jackson. That's when my eyes lit up, and I said, "This is a great film." That was the moment for me.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm buying it. As soon as it hit the stores, I'm getting it because that's a good movie.
Yeah, so nice. I saw it twice. Took my girl to see it the second time, but she fell asleep, so I just had to watch it.
It was a snooze fest, man.
She didn't make it through, but it was like later.
Dude, yes, I told y'all that. I said if you make it through the first 20 minutes, you are in for a treat. Because after the first 20 minutes, you're like, oh, I know what this is going to be about. And then, like Anthony said, it just goes, phew. I'll tell you my moment when we get off screen at the Hollywood. But I'll tell you the moment when I was like, okay, now
I
we
want to
go.
spoil it so bad, but I'm not
Me
going
too,
to do it.
Oh, you can spoil it for me. I ain't going to see it. I can see you ain't going to get it.
Man, when he fell down out of that building and they hemmed him up, I thought that was it.
When they said, "Hey, your man's he fell off the side of the building." No, when he went into there and he said, when he met the sensei and he was telling the sensei, I'm like, I used to do this bad shit back in the past. And then the sensei was doing the exact same thing he was doing at the same time. He's like, this don't sound crazy. He's like, nah, bro, I get it. Yeah.
Bad hombre.
Bad hombre.
Yeah. But Young Thug's album, I give it 30% tape. So that's kind of like a 3.5, 4 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
You get 30% of the answers right on the test. Do you pass?
I really feel like the album is missing that.
You said 30%, 3 out of 5. That's not the same thing, bro.
I said 3.5 out of 10. I'm just trying to give him a little leeway.
That's horrible.
Hey, question: is he really the one or is he the two?
Oh, he the two.
He might be the two, dog.
He might be the two.
He might be the two.
Yeah, he might be the two. Gunna.
That album missing that Gunna effect, man.
Oh,
I don't know if Gunna watched Thug, but he winning.
Thug to the clean.
Right. But okay. Let's move on to the next topic then. Generational wealth. I'll let you lead this topic off.
All right, so I picked this topic because I wanted to talk about not just generational wealth, but I wanted to speak. It's kind of like a 2 to 3 point topic, but it's Black families discussing the transition of wealth. So, as in African American community, we don't really speak on times of when our elders pass on. And a lot of times when we at the funeral, the people crying 2 times because, they not getting nothing and, the loved one is gone. So, a lot of times we don't have life insurance policies. People have to end up with GoFundMe's to pay for burial. I just wanted to speak on just some ways just to shed light on how we can pass wealth down through the Black community to create generational wealth and speak on the hard conversation it is whenever we have to speak to our loved ones about passing on and transitioning wealth to peers and creating generational wealth and understanding that every dollar that you make is not necessarily supposed to go on you. Some of that is supposed to be put aside for the future children and just having that mindset. So, first thing I wanted to say was like, I want to speak on life insurance policies. So DJ, what is your take on life insurance policies? Just as a Black man in our community.
Is it needed? Yes. I feel like we all should take that out. Whether, you plan on living a long life or if you feel like you're going to live a short one for whatever reason, medical issues or anything of that nature. Because, it sets up the ones out there like it's going to be well needed when the time comes because, it's just something that can actually, you think about the people after you anyway, at a certain age anyway, because, once you start to create life and so on and so on, you got to think about the future. So you take that policy out to align the future because you never know what can happen. So I feel like it's well needed in the Black community. Like, yeah, that's my take on that.
Exactly.
My take on life insurance.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know that much about it. From what I gather, that it can be similar to an investment account. Is that right?
Yeah, it can.
So you can pull funds from it, like Can you pull funds from the
Yeah, you can pull
insurance?
money
Yeah, you
from it.
can. You do get penalized for that though, don't you?
I don't think so. Over a certain amount of time, I don't know the specifics because, like I said, I ain't got one. I ain't got, well, not for my parents.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I don't really know enough about it, but I do think that if that's the case, you might just be better off just investing money rather than going through a system to try to like
I
do
agree.
that.
There's a lot of red tape that comes with that. The new hot word out recently. Everything has a hot word, right? I feel like stuff's been around and people just pick it up and say, okay, we're gonna make it popular. Like whole life is a new thing. People are like, oh, you need to get whole life. I don't know if Arkeem mentioned to me I had to get up. Like for me, it doesn't make sense. I don't have nothing for life insurance. I don't have kids. Like my line of succession is very understood. If I die, it's all one of my parents. There's no need for me to have a whole life policy right now. I could easily have a investment account and do all of that and be perfectly fine. Some people do it through their jobs, which to me is it's a double edged sword, right? Because like for instance, if you do a whole life, like let's say you do a whole career, you're paying life insurance in case something happens to you through your job, right? Yes, if something happens to you, you get to reap the benefits. But once you retire and don't work anymore, all that money's gone. Like it's no because there's no need because it's tied to your job basically. Whole life is private, which is why people want to push it because you can look at it as an investment even after you stop working, right? Because you're paying into something. But again, like Anthony said, I would just rather pay it into an investment account, and it will still cover everything else. Um,
Yeah, because and then you won't have any restrictions or red tape.
yeah, it's your money, right? So, but life insurance is important. I think you should have enough money. But again, this is another mindset. I think you should have just enough money, liquid enough that if somebody were to die, that you could cover their funeral. You
Oh
shouldn't be
yeah.
dependent on a life insurance policy to cover their funeral or cover whatever. You should just have that money available if you're doing it right.
Well,
Right?
that I disagree with because
Really?
now, like I say, I don't know that much about it, but I thought the idea was you pay into this policy, and then if death arrives on said person, they can offer a multiple of that return, like of that as a return. Isn't that how it works? Like if you say, for instance, you had a $300,000 life insurance policy and you paid $100 a month for 15 years, that doesn't equal $300,000. If that person passes, then you would get 300,000, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but but I'll say this:
It's like a socialistic business plan. Like a lot of
it's
times,
expensive though. It's really expensive. Like it's not even $100 a month. I think a lot of those policies are a lot to get that type of like return. But
and it
me,
gets more
that's just
expensive
me
as you
though.
get older.
Yeah, for me, I just believe that I would rather just have the money myself or have it already ready in place when not having to have to deal with like that type of thing. Because that after it's actually a good movie about that too. I'm talking about movies with Tommy Lee Jones, but the after death stuff, dude, if that stuff ain't straightened out when they living, that could from personal experience, that can be a freaking headache trying to figure out what to do when somebody's dead because it becomes a cluster if it isn't sorted out. Like I don't know about you guys, just we're talking about it, but like my folks have already sorted out their will when it comes to me, and me vice versa. Like mine's pretty simple, right? Because I ain't
It's
got nothing
only
but
you.
it
Right, so
is.
it's your other child. Like
But I got my sister. I got my sister involved, and she's involved in part of it. But for the most part, you're right. It
But it's
is
gonna
set
be
up.
only through your daddy. Like,
But but even then, though, even with just me, they had to set some things up in place. It was a lot more work than you thought. Even for our only child, like, oh, this is all go to you. Well, they had to set some other stuff up too to make sure that the state didn't get involved. Because even if it's just you, sometimes it can get contested. Even though you like, no, it don't make no sense. It's weird. But
it
just
can get
look.
contested, and that's what I want to bring in. That's why I want to bring this up. The best thing to do for everybody listening, the best thing to do to have the smoothest transaction whenever it comes to passing wealth after a parent passes away is through a family trust. If you have a family trust set up, when the person who created the trust, and you already have your children on the trust, when you pass away and transition, and you have, let's just say it's a house. The house is owned by the trust, or the stocks are owned by the trust. When this parent transitions, it automatically goes to those kids whose names are already on the trust. No capital gains tax, no inheritance tax, no nothing. It automatically just adds to the percentage of ownership to the people on the trust already. That's just a tip I wanted to give out there. And what Willie was saying, talking about, he said something. I looked up some information, and it says that only 1 out of every 10 black families, so that's 10, around a little bit less than 10%, more than 10% of black families actually have a passing down of wealth after the death of a parent. Only 10% of black families receive an inheritance of any kind. So this ain't thousands of dollars. This is an inheritance of any kind. Only 10%. While white families is somewhere around 35%. Right. And that's why I wanted to bring this in. You got to understand that every dollar that you make is not necessarily going to be for you to spend. Some of them is going to have to be, if you want to have that mindset, Because some people just don't know, hey, I tore this world up. When I'm gone, I'm gone. You ever heard people say that? When I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't know what y'all doing. That's the wrong mindset to have. Supposed to have everything set up at some specific time in life, But yeah, only 10. What do y'all have to say about that? Only 10% of black families receive an inheritance of any kind.
Well, I mean, I think that if you look at a normal population is about 60%, of a population. 60. So a great percentage of people, like Shannon Sharp said, I want my life and my money to run out at the exact same time. Some people have that mindset. You got other people that they're impoverished, so they can't save anything or put anything away anyway. Then you got another group of people that they hyper spenders. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of Americans can't even spend. I mean, can't even be charged a $600 bill unexpectedly and be able to cover it. Majority of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So you have that small 10% sliver that says, I'm gonna actually put something away so that my kids can benefit from it. And I think that's the 10% that you're talking about there. So um, a, a a lot of people in that normal distribution I was talking about of 60% just get chopped up and it leaves 10, which according to a normal distribution, 60% is average. Um, no, or is it? I think it's 80% is average, 10% is like terrible, and then it's another 10% that's exceptional. So that actually goes just in line with the normal distribution mathematically.
Or are you doing a bell curve chart there?
Yeah, yeah, that's what normal distribution is, a bell curve.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
10%.
What'd you say,
10%.
DJ?
No, I was thinking myself 10%. So I feel like that probably due to a lack of, I guess, financial literacy in our community. That a lot of us, that's something that we stood behind on as a whole. That, and I agree with Ant, hyper spending. You have some people in our community who do achieve a certain level of wealth throughout their, working years. Like they have a certain amount, certain salary that can grant them a certain lifestyle. But like you say, not really thinking into the future. So when it's all said and done, they may leave a little money, but nothing that's going to be considered to hold over a generation. Nothing that's going to actually be able to be put back into something else. Or you might leave your kids 30 grand, 30, 40 grand or something a piece, maybe split amongst multiple siblings. I mean, so I feel like a gain of financial literacy in our community could actually increase that percentage as far as actually knowing what investments really look like. How we talk about it all the time, Arkeem, knowing what money really is, knowing how money really works. Not just, oh yeah, I got a great job. I make $100,000 a year. And yeah, you live great for the next 30 years. You probably do look good. But when it's all said and done, if your kids ain't living, doing the same decisions you made, they finna struggle. You ain't leaving them nothing because you didn't think ahead of time. You just enjoy it in the moment.
Because 90% of the time, the corporation is never going to give you enough money to overthrow it. R.I.P. to Asada Shakur, a.k.a. Chesamar. I forgot her first name. Chesamar. Like he said, I knew less about Chesamar, more about Pablo Escobar. That's who just passed away. You know that, right? Well, anyway, so Chesamar, I was reading some things that she was writing. I listened to a recording she did in jail after that they claimed that she shot that police officer in New Jersey out of self-defense. One thing she said that struck out to me was, she said, America and no society run by wealth, which is all of them, will never give you the education on how to beat them or get out of their system. So here in America, if whatever company you work for, whoever you're working for, the school systems, college systems is never going to give you the information you need to break out of what they call the rat race. All of that information that you get, that you see people making vast amount of money, they're not going to learn that from their university. They're not going to learn that from any type of curriculum in school. They talk about financial literacy and things like that. The financial literacy that they teach you at a high school or at a college is not going to be the necessary information to get you out of the rat race. It'll never be. You're going to have to find that on your own. And I'm going to send y'all the recording from Chesamar, because she is a brilliant woman and she just passed away. And I saw Cash Patel say, you're not supposed to don't, what did he say? He said, don't celebrate her passing. She was an American fugitive, but she broke out of jail and then fled to Cuba, where America couldn't come get her. And then she died down there. She did that in the 80s, in the 70s or something like that. But that was a passage that she had wrote. She's pretty sure she wrote it the way she was talking. And she got her lawyer to record her while she was in jail, and then they put it out. And then that's how Chesamar just became huge. She was with the Black Panthers and she left, and then she got with the Black Alliance Army or something like that. But yeah, she left the Black Panthers. But I always keep that in mind, when you thinking about building wealth for your children and for your family, understand that it's nothing that's just going to be readily available out there that's going to teach you the game. It's going to have to be you searching for your own. And I say that with everything. Like, your university is not supposed to be where you stop learning it. Like, once you leave a school, like, hey, well, look, Kentucky State taught me everything I was supposed to learn. Now I'm out here. They never going to teach you everything. Education is supposed to never stop. 80 years old, you're supposed to keep on learning,
Yeah, that's facts. And also, something I always tell people, in 2025, if you don't know, you don't want to know.
Damn.
You hear a pin drop. Hey, you hear a pin drop off that one. I say, hey,
Right on.
hey, he said what he said.
If you don't know, you don't want to know.
No. Hey, what's the other one at? You can't see it, I can't make it.
What'd you say, Lai? Turn your mic up. Or come closer or something. Lai.
I think that's Willie, bro.
I just muted him. You sound like a little bit lower, but
Me?
yeah, you did just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But that's that's that.
You a layman, that's that. Man, y'all see these AI? Y'all see these AI artists going number one? Come on, Lil Ken and Bobby Blair got to make an entrance.
Lil Ken and Bobby Blair.
Blair.
But I mean, unless y'all got any quick hits or anything.
Will it? This man ruffling around. Turn your TV off. Well, we only been on an hour, you know.
Yeah, we ran through it.
Oh yeah, something you said, Arcane. Stephen A. not
What?
running as a Republican. True enough. Now, I'm curious, man. Like, how far could y'all see him going? Now, I agree with Ant saying he could talk his way into a debate. He could talk
note.
anybody and probably go up against. I
Side
agree
note,
with you on
DJ.
that.
Side
What's
note,
up,
hold
man?
on, I gotta say this. Hey
Go
man,
ahead, say
Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny is about to take the stage on the Super Bowl coming up in
Oh
February.
man.
And Trump and one of Trump's advisors said that ICE agents will be at the Super Bowl
I saw that.
halftime. Bro,
I saw
what?
that. Hey, hold on.
Imagine if you paid, and I'm not being funny, but imagine if you weren't all the way legal in America and you paid $14,000 for a Super Bowl, for a Super Bowl ticket, and then you get deported. Can't even finish the game.
To me, that makes no sense for them to be there.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe that's just
illegal immigrants wouldn't be able to afford that.
Well, they
did the same thing for the Club World Cup. Now, can you imagine the same thing for the World Cup? You're going to have all these people coming in from all these different countries. What you going to do? Say, all right, after the game, you got 5 minutes to get out. That's why a lot of the attendance was down for the Club World Cup this year, because a lot of them folks didn't want to take that chance.
Like, what's up with that? Like, is it that easy to get in the country?
Well,
Super Bowl is in San Francisco this year, so I guess they trying to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you say easy to get in, they getting people on technicalities, right? Like, that's how they getting you. Is that they say, oh, you might have got in legally, but you got an arrest. Okay, perfect example. Since we just talking and we speaking on something like this, did y'all see the thing about the superintendent in Iowa, who they?
Yeah, that's what I was just bringing up.
Yeah, like they got him. Now think about this. This is how you know it's a witch hunt, right? This man was a superintendent of a school. And this is what's so crazy, right? What the whole good, people, bad, whatever. He was a superintendent of a school. So somebody obviously snitched on him, right? That's how he got found out. Somebody was like, I don't like him being superintendent. I'm a snitch. And I get the people that are like, oh, he wasn't here legally.
Can you explain to us what happened with that situation?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So what happened was this right here. There was a superintendent of a school who was supposedly not supposed to be here legally. He had graduated from American universities, got his degrees and all of that, got hired by this school district to be a superintendent. I don't know the length of time that he had been there, but he had been there for some time. Let's say a couple years. And then somebody came out and they said, hey, this guy's an illegal immigrant. And they came and they got him. And they said he was supposed to be from like Guyana, that his work visa expired and they're going to have to kick him out. And that he had a weapon because he went on a hunting trip one time with some people and he had to have a gun on a hunting trip. Like, this is some crazy, right? And so this is what makes the whole illegal immigration argument and all this type of stuff that's not that it's, look, by the letter of the law, it's illegal, whatever. But this dude is just being a superintendent of a school, minding his own business, going to work like he been doing. He ain't trying to hurt nobody. He ain't trying to get nobody. They hired him for this position. It wasn't like he was given this position that he was just so fell into his lap. He had to get interviewed and he outdid all the other people. And so it raises a question, I think, what this whole illegal immigration thing is about. Is it about getting rapists, killers, murderers, or is it just about clearing books? Because in my opinion, even though he might not have been legal and all that, that dude did not deserve to get, deported or whatever, just because of an expired visa.
Expired visa.
Yeah,
How does one achieve his status and no
bruh.
one?
If you really want to know how I really feel,
Yeah,
if
that's
if,
that one.
if times weren't if times were not like they currently were, he would still have his job.
Yeah, because how does one
Yeah,
achieve that status and still be a work visa technically expired? This man, like you said, he's a superintendent of a school. He, like you said, doctor. He don't been in school for X amount, almost.
bruh.
Probably like almost 10 years of college education. How do
He,
you get
he,
that
he was at
far
the
and get
VJ
that
to answer your
status?
question before the current policy on immigration and all of this stuff. Homie was at the back of the list, or he wasn't on the list at all. Let's just be real. They probably looked at him and said, "Oh, this dude's a superintendent." 3-4 years ago, right? 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, ding, and they didn't even think about it. No one even cared to think about it because they looked at him for what he was—a superintendent of schools.
A productive citizen.
Exactly. But now it's a different ball game. Like I'm pretty sure he might have been paying taxes, but
Of course, you been paying tax.
yeah. So and I don't know, dude. It's so crazy. I'm surprised Raheem ain't got nothing to say about it, but it's just so crazy. The battles that people pick and choose when they always pick and choose. This is what I don't get. They always pick and they always choose who they want to get and when they want to get them.
Willie,
Now that guy wasn't a killer.
politics as usual.
Yeah. And you know what? It's probably because he was black. Because there are plenty of people who I know, I ain't gonna say I know, but I've been to places and there's plenty of people there who have residencies that are foreign. They're from Russia, they're from Germany, they're from all these other places. And how many of these people have you ever been saying, hey, we're gonna send him back to Germany? We're gonna send her back to Russia. I'm just saying, it's a certain crowd that's picked. You think all those, and I'm not even trying to make it a racial thing, I'm just telling you what it is. We always talk about the southern border. What about the western border? What about all those people that come over from Japan and China and or Canada, all those Canadians that sneak in? Do we treat them with the same vilification as we treat the southern border? That's all I'm saying.
Of course not, Willie. It's politics as usual. It's the smoke screen, the red herring. It's that's what it is. We know why they don't want the southern border people in there, or they don't want anybody. It's all about skin color. So the only thing the majority of Americans have is their skin color.
Yep.
That's the only amount of currency probably 60% of white Americans have. That's all they got. Okay? And if you ever notice, them gonna be the main ones. The ones without a life insurance policy. The ones with the beat up trucks. The ones that straight up poor.
Yeah. I know. It's just,
yeah, the ones that straight up poor. That's all they got. So, for some reason they think that, it's guys who didn't even graduate high school. I'm seeing these dudes who didn't graduate from a Vicksburg, Mississippi high school on Facebook. Vicksburg, Mississippi high school, talking about they're taking American jobs. Yeah, dude. Now, boy, that guy right there who had a PhD in psychology or whatever from a prestigious school and was the superintendent in Iowa, he did not take no goddamn job from no guy who didn't graduate high school in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Dude, he didn't take your job. To work as a superintendent, you gotta have a high school degree. And if the guy sees this, then so be it. But you barely graduated high school or didn't graduate. I don't know. He didn't take a job from you or anybody like you. The only thing you are qualified to do is manual labor. Not dissing manual labor, but that's all the people of your education level is qualified to do. These guys who coming from Nigeria and places like that, bro, they not coming for the job at the chicken plant, boy.
But to your point, Arcane, doesn't it just show you how crazy all this is? How a dude who was an illegal immigrant, or for say overstayed his work visa, whatever you want to say it, went to a place like Iowa, was able to compete and get a superintendent job. Like that just shows you so much. That's such a backwards thinking of like do you think like not to I'm not gonna say I'm one side or the other. I'm pretty in the middle centrist. But could you imagine all those Latino voters that voted for President Trump now looking back at it, hindsight 2020, when your grandmama and your granddaddy who've been in this country staying with you forever, which if you watch that movie one bite after another, it alludes to a lot of stuff that's going on currently, and it's actually great. It doesn't overdo one side or the other, but it just shows you for what it is, right? Can you imagine you voting for something that you think just because you feel away, right? And then boom, your grandmama and your granddaddy getting taken out the house, and you sitting there like, but wait, we voted this way. Well, wait, they good people, but wait, they've been here. You know. I look at the ladies who were supporting Trump, and then they come back months later after he's been elected talking about, oh, we didn't know he was going to come for Venezuelans. He shouldn't do that. Venezuelans are, it's like, bruh, what you think was going to happen? You thought she was gay?
And that's what people don't understand, snowball effect. They don't understand that. See, if somebody is saying, hey, we coming after everybody who is Mexican. See, you will have some guys who are Puerto Rican and say, well, guys, he's not talking about us. That's what they don't understand. You next. If they come after him tonight, they're coming after you in the morning. See,
yeah.
And that's another thing about the Charlie Kirk thing. See, when the Democrat got killed in Minnesota, you could go check Reddit. People, Republicans, were like, well, that's what happens when you try to take people's freedom and die and doing that. But then you understand that that's opening a door for both of them. My grandma said if you dig one grave, you might as well dig two.
Yeah.
Because they coming after you too. And people celebrating the Charlie Kirk thing. Dude, this on the Democratic side. Dude, one of our people, the same thing can happen. You saw a guy who was just at he was finna shoot up a gay club because he said this is gonna be my revenge for Charlie Kirk. You know, this has become political, man.
Yeah.
You know,
you see the press that guy, then the guy that drove his truck into that church and shot all those Mormons.
Yeah,
it's been hush hush. We ain't speaking on his background, his affiliations, and all of that. It's just insane. It's really crazy how all of this is just flipping and flopping. Who gets to be a millionaire? You know, that type of identity. But to go back to what you were saying about that thing, I think of a rap verse from Primo Rice, I think, or Larry June, where he said, "Just because I show a little love, that don't mean you gain." And them boys think because he was showing a little love that they was gang. And now it's really macaroni time. Like, bro, think about this. If they willing to deport somebody who was borderline citizen, they sent that man over there to El Salvador. And the thing is, bro, they're not even sending these folks back to where they came from. They sending these people to wherever the hell they want.
They send them to wherever they can.
Exactly. And we paying for it. Like, we paying for these prisons in El Salvador and in Uganda. Like, that's our tax money that's being used to help finance these prisons.
That boy that got sent over there that was an American, did they ever get him?
Yeah, they got him. Then they brought him back, and they said they're gonna send him back again. And now they grabbed them again. They finna send them back again.
They want to give you 5, give you 10, 15, come home, send them back again.
I know, man. It's crazy. And then, like I said, and I don't even mean to just dilly dally on this, but all of this is insane. The FCC, the censorship of media, how we went from a guy who was non-censorable to his passing to now we're censoring everything. I mean, it's painting a picture. That's all I can tell you. It's painting a picture of yeah. I mean, like this is really looking at, they used to say, the checks and balances in the government. Well, we're seeing it for what it's worth right now. It's almost commendable for someone to be like, you know what, we're gonna see how much power I really got. Because they say what I can't do, but let me just do it and see what happens. We're finna give $18 billion to Argentina.
For what?
Exactly.
Probably owe
I think they need some. They have financial problems, and we're gonna help bail them out. But hey, where Doge at?
We got finance.
Bro, it don't matter when it's not your money. You do whatever you want with it. You do it doing your popping. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm losing faith. At first, I honestly I've not been a critic, but I gave them a chance. I said, okay, we're gonna see the tariffs. Now we got 100% tariffs on movies. Like I said, man, it's I don't even know anymore. It's like we trying to save money, we trying to make money, but we giving money. They say they want to do it. They're trying to negotiate it to help bail out Argentina's central bank. They want to do a $20 billion. They basically want to buy their debt, essentially. But you know why? You know why we interested in Argentina now? Their new president was very much a certain way. And so, I don't know, man. We trying to, what do you say, Arcane? Or some we in a child line, but while he's on the moon, government shut down, but we're trying to give $20 billion to Argentina. Hey man,
Yeah.
I don't think this CR gonna get passed. I think it's gonna be another kick down the road. Cause let's be real, I don't think we got the money for it, bro. I don't think we got the money for the big beautiful bill. I don't think we got 3.17 trillion to dump. Like we might have it, like we might can as in pass it, but we ain't trying to see that. I know I ain't.
Fun fact of Shutdown: the U.S. loses $15 billion each week of a full shutdown.
Oh yeah, to be honest with you, we're okay for now, but we on the clock. I mean, our money. I mean, our obligated money. Our obligated money isn't infinite. We got enough to probably last a month, I would say, at most.
At 15 Bs a week?
Oh, they're gonna send you home, DJ. Let's be real. Yeah, you're gonna get that email first. You're gonna get that email first.
I'm waiting for the government to start talking quadrillions.
Yeah.
Hey, the way I heard it, it's his paper money anyway. You print it. What do you say? Just print more.
Right.
Well, that's actually the advantage the United States has.
Good print mode.
But I mean, I don't know, man. How long y'all think this government shutdown gonna last? Like, if you could predict,
it could last. I mean, look,
it'll be back Friday.
Yeah, it'll be back Friday till November. What I'm telling you is, they have kicked this shit can so far down the road. You gotta think about it. We were supposed to have a CR last year. It got pushed. They did an extension. Then they extended it again. And then they had all this time to come up with a plan. Like, they extended this thing back in February. And then boom, look where we at now. We still don't have nothing. Nothing. Look how long it took for them to even agree on the big beautiful bill. It's crazy, man. It's sad, honestly.
They actually seem pretty far apart from what I've gathered. So I'm gonna say 2 weeks.
I'll be in Austin.
2 weeks.
You ain't
What's
gonna
up,
be in
big
Austin.
Austin?
Cut it out.
By that time, might as well. Look, furlough. My dad got my dad got furloughed when I was a kid. He was gone for like 2 weeks. You're right, because we went to this. Tell you how long ago it was. We went to Blockbuster and got season 4 of Lost and watched all of season 4 while he was furloughed.
Wow.
So, and y'all gonna feel it too. The private sector, the public, they feel it when the government's furloughed because we can't award no contracts. And that's why the whole process is stupid, right? Because you got a group of people who can be going home, and then this is how you know it's dumb. This is how you know all this is backwards. We all work together. Arkeem, Anthony, DJ, and go home. I'm in the office. I'm the only one working. I'm deemed essential. Well, I need to get some information from Arkeem, DJ, and Anthony. Where they at?
They furloughed.
Exactly. So now I'm just sitting up here in the office needing information for folks who ain't even at work. Oh, wait, I need to ask Joe from contracting. Hey, Joe ain't here. Oh, okay. So do y'all know the answer to this? Nah, but Joe do. Okay,
The
so
longest government shutdown was in 2018 for 34 days. So I think, yeah, I revised that. I revised that, man. I think I agree with Arcane. It might take a week.
yeah, because that's in 2018 he shut down everything. That's when he shut down like the EPA and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And they was
You
like,
shut down on that one too.
hmm?
You had to go home on that one, didn't it?
2018 I was in
Oh, yeah,
college.
you was in college, yeah.
But
there was a one for 16 days in 2013. One for
I remember that one. I remember
21 days in 1995. 5 days in 1995. 3 days in 1990. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that long.
no, because all they do is they make like all they're gonna do is make it a temporary extension, which will probably be a couple months. They'll probably extend it 2 months. They'll probably sign something that lets the government function until November. And then they'll say, hey, we'll come back in November and we'll get something long term. They won't. It'll be still, they'll get another extension. The day of, the government will be about to shut down or shut down. And they'll say, hey, we got an extension for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody know.
I did see somewhere that it was like they probably won't actually be able to get anything passed till like Monday because there's some Japanese holiday Yom Kippur or something, and
Jewish
they won't even
holiday.
Yeah,
Jewish,
yeah.
and they won't even like come back in session for that day or something like that. So
Yeah, they won't come back and actually start voting again until
it
Friday.
might go over the weekend.
Yeah. We might hear something about Friday. They're gonna start back voting on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe.
But yo, it's been a great pod. Appreciate y'all for joining. Discuss some great things. We got 5 fouls and we about to foul out. Peace.